Hello and welcome to another edition of Charch Chat here at Open Sports. I'm Paul Charchian from LeagueSafe.com. Thanks for joining us. We look at some of the waiver wire pickups that could help your squad both for this coming weekend and in the future weeks, what little's left of the schedule anyway. I've got three guys for you, two running backs and one wide receiver that you may want to give some thought to as you make your waiver wire claims this week. First, Edgerrin James, long since forgotten it seems and dropped in most leagues, but you know, it looks like he's got a little bit of action last week, and it looks like the end could be near for Tim Hightower, averaging 2.9 yards per carry. That's Cedric Benson bad. So, you know, there's a lot of trouble with Hightower, and Edgerrin James is still there, and at this point, he's fresh. So you could see, we could see a change. We could see Edgerrin James start getting more carries as early as this very week. This is an important game coming up with Minnesota. Right now, there are home field tiebreaker implications in the first round, very possibly for Arizona in this week's game. And yes, they've got Minnesota. Minnesota does have a good run defense, but they're a lot worse on the road, where they give up about 30 more yards. And teams do actually get some rushing touchdowns in Minnesota. I still think Hightower would remain a goal line kind of guy, but I just see Edgerrin James returning to the role that he had before at some point this year. Now, this is just finger in the wind, just speculation on my part. Based on Hightower's bad play, based on the fact that James got some carries here, he could start seeing some real action as early as this week with Minnesota. He travels to New England after that, and that's a tough matchup, but then gets Seattle. So just somebody you could consider. He's not going to power you through the fantasy playoffs by any means, but somebody that might have some possibilities for some decent playing time on a very good offense. Next, Donald Driver. He's always a hit and miss guy with Driver, and some games it looks better than others, and some he disappears. But I'm just looking at that schedule for Green Bay, and trying to find some real value opportunities for you. This week they've got Jacksonville. Only two teams have allowed more passing touchdowns than the Jaguars have. Then the week after that, it's Chicago that ranks 28th against the pass, and the week after that, Detroit. I don't need to tell you anything about Detroit. You don't already know. You can start everybody against Detroit. So Donald Driver, somebody you could certainly consider and available in a lot of leagues. Derek Ward is my third pickup guy for the week. Derek Ward is the guy who gets most of the time when Brandon Jacobs isn't 100%. He's not 100% right now. And his status for this coming week is unknown, banged up knee. So Derek Ward could end up being somebody who, even when Jacobs is healthy, Derek Ward gets a fair amount of action both as a runner and as a receiver. If Brandon Jacobs goes down, he gets the majority of the workload, and that's a good opportunity for him. And you got to figure, even if Jacobs is pretty healthy, they may start wanting to position him for the playoffs and start keeping some of the wear and tear off of Jacobs, and that could certainly mean more carries down the stretch in the regular season for Derek Ward. All right, so there's the three guys I'm advocating this week. Edgerrin James, Donald Driver, Derek Ward. I'm guessing two out of those three probably available in your leagues. Thanks for watching Charch Chat. If you have any questions for our crack staff of fantasy experts here at Open Sports, send emails to fantasy@opensports.com.
For more great videos, check back every day on opensports.com.